Okay, so let's take a look at the experiment to test the effectiveness of aspirin on treating a headache. So a simple experiment might be as follows. We get two groups of people that both have pain. In one of the groups, we give them aspirin, and in the other, nothing. Now, if aspirin is going to cause pain relief, then we should expect a difference in the outcome between these two groups. So let's take a look at some possible results. Down here is a chart, and it's kind of strange over here, but on the left here you see possible results. So these are just pretend results just to illustrate how we might interpret the results of an experiment. And this is percent pain relief, and possible result A would be these two numbers here. Possible result B would be these two numbers here. And the condition of the experiment, we have the two conditions, the aspirin group and the nothing group. So let's look at possible result A first. In possible result A, the aspirin group, 30% of the people who got aspirin felt pain relief. But 30% of people who got nothing also felt pain relief. And so since the percentage of people feeling pain relief was not better than getting nothing, we would conclude here that aspirin was not effective. Now you might say, well, why did 30% of people in the aspirin group report pain relief? Well, perhaps for the same reason that 30% of the people who got nothing felt pain relief. That is, the pain naturally went away. So because the aspirin group did not show greater pain relief than the nothing group, we would conclude here that aspirin was not effective in reducing pain. But suppose the numbers were different, like possible result B. Suppose it was 70% of people in the aspirin group got pain relief, whereas only 30% in the nothing group. Here, we would have reason to conclude that aspirin is effective in reducing pain. However, as we'll see in a moment, there might be a complication. It could be the case that the people in the aspirin group, because they knew they were getting medicine, the mere knowledge of that made them feel better. And if this is the case, then that would be an example of a placebo effect. So just because the aspirin group has 70% reported pain relief and the nothing group 30%, we still can't quite be sure that it was the aspirin itself, the chemical in the pill, that caused the pain relief. It could have been the idea, the mere idea that the pain sufferers were getting medicine that made them feel better. So we need another control group. So here's our revised experiment. We have three groups now. All of the people in the experiment have pain. One group is going to get aspirin. One group, nothing, just as before. But then we're going to have a third group. And this group here, the people will get a sugar pill. Now, they don't know that, right? So they're told that it is a medicine. They're told that it's aspirin, but it's really a sugar pill, all right? So notice in our terminology, both of these groups, the nothing group and the placebo group, those are control conditions because the groups are not receiving the variable, the thing of interest. Only the aspirin group is the experimental condition. So let's see what some possible results might be. And again, we have this chart idea. And let's not get confused here. These are just possible results, and we read them across. So possible result A would be these numbers across here for the three conditions. Possible result B would be these numbers. Possible result C would be these numbers. And this is just to help us understand better how to interpret results. So let's look at possible result A. In possible result A, 30% of people in the aspirin group feel pain relief, 30% in the nothing group, 30% in the placebo group. Well, since the nothing group had 30%, then we can conclude there that 30% of people, the headache just naturally went away. Notice, just by telling them they're getting medicine did not increase that number in the placebo group. So there appears to be no placebo effect. Neither is there any effect of aspirin because aspirin does not beat the placebo group. Remember, the only difference between the aspirin group and the placebo group, both groups, remember, think they're getting medicine, but only the aspirin group is getting the aspirin. The placebo group is getting a sugar pill. So in possible result A, there's evidence that there's no effect of aspirin because it does not beat the placebo group, and there's no placebo effect at all because the placebo group did not show greater pain relief than the nothing group. Let's look at possible result B. Here we have 40% in the aspirin, 30 in the nothing, 40 in the placebo. So right away we see the placebo group is higher than the nothing group, so there's a placebo effect. The mere act of giving them medication appears to have increased the percentage of people who report pain relief. But notice the aspirin group, 40% of people report pain relief, which is equal to the placebo group. So since both of these groups got a pill and the aspirin group got the aspirin, aspirin could not beat the placebo effect. So this 40% here is probably due to the placebo effect, not the aspirin. So again, here we would conclude that aspirin is not effective if we got results like possible result B. Look at possible result C. 70% aspirin, 30% nothing, 40% placebo. Well, again, there's evidence of a placebo effect, the 40% greater than 30%. So the mere belief that you're getting medicine appears to have helped some people in this group have their pain reduced. And also notice that the aspirin condition, 70% of people report pain relief that is greater than the 40%. So we do have evidence here that aspirin is effective because this number is greater than the placebo number. So we can conclude that while some of these people may have felt better just because of a placebo effect, the mere knowledge that they're getting aspirin, the actual chemical itself, the aspirin itself, appears to have some power in reducing pain. So in summary then, when you have an experiment that involves a placebo group, when you're testing the effectiveness of a drug, you want to make sure you compare the three conditions. And the drug condition has to perform better than the placebo condition in order to conclude that it is effective in the treatment.